Here we have the current stock market update for Super Micro Computer Incorporated, stock ticker SMCI. Before we begin with today's chart analysis, if you find these educational materials to be helpful in your trading, please remember to click the like and subscribe buttons and leave your thoughts below in the comment section so that other traders will be able to find this information more easily on the platform. So here we're going to continue looking at the very short-term time frames with this price chart because what we're really attempting to do here is look for evidence of a reversal near these long-term lows. Anybody that follows the stock is well aware that share prices themselves have seen a dramatic move lower. We're nearly bouncing, we're newly or recently bouncing off of prior lows coming in right around 382.88. And since then, we have seen some share price movements to the top side, which have started to suggest that we might be seeing a bottom here near term. So in order to really accomplish a bottom, we do need to see some clear breaks of resistance levels, and we do need to see a series of higher lows being generated in the process. So, as things currently stand, we are starting to see some evidence of this. We can start to, look at these trends in a positive way. And then in addition to that, momentum that is being seen in the short-term relative strength index also continues to be supportive for share prices. So what we're doing here is currently we're looking at the 5-minute price chart. So this is a very short-term time frame. It's really sort of an intraday, sort of a day trader time frame. And as we can see here, for the most part, share price momentum has maintained its bullish stance. We did see a brief spike lower here, but this would be considered to be a false break to the downside, given the fact that the relative strength index reading, which is the purple line at the bottom of the price chart, given the fact that this reading here did bounce sharply higher, and we did actually enter into overbought territory on two separate occasions. So as things currently stand, the overall trend momentum here does remain positive. We're recently rolling out of overbought territory here, and we're currently seeing a relative strength index reading that's right around 61.6. So this is a positive reading because we do still have room here to move higher without becoming overbought. So overall, this does suggest that share prices have not yet reached a top here in this most recent move higher. As things currently stand, what we're looking at is a near-term top coming in right around $430, just above there. So this does sort of open up scope here for some additional trend wave movements higher. And the next level of resistance that I'm looking at here can be found right around this 475 mark. So essentially, this is an area that would mark out, at least a triple top resistance zone. This is an area that's been tested on 3 separate occasions. We did see a minor break higher in the initial break, but not really a closing period above this level. So I would still consider this to be a triple top resistance zone coming in right around 475.40. And as things currently stand, this would be the next target to the top side. Near term, one other factor that we do need to take note of here is the fact that we're starting to move back into this price gap territory here. So if we just sort of zoom in here a bit and take a closer look at this area here, we can see that there was a share price gap that did start to develop recently, and it was not completely filled. We did see some of this area start to be filled here, but this was not completely accomplished. So there is still a bit of upside momentum that could be generated by this price gap activity here. And this is an additional factor that would support the positive side of the outlook. So the way things currently stand, we do have to sort of expect further movements here to the top side. Other stocks have also been moving in the upward direction. I just finished a video on NVIDIA. I suggest people take a look at that because that is another stock that is starting to bounce off of some fairly significant support zones. And with that stock in particular, that $100 mark is going to become critically important for share price trends going forward. So the real question here is whether or not these two stocks or stocks within this sector are going to be working in conjunction with one another. Are we going to see heavily correlated price moves to the top side? If NVIDIA, for example, keeps moving higher, will this allow Supermicro to sort of form a bottom here and continue to move higher? We do need to identify some price levels to the downside that would sort of invalidate the bullish thesis here at the moment. So one level that I would be looking at comes in right around 417.20 at the moment. These prior price highs came in right around 417.60. So this is roughly the same area that we're watching here. And if we were to see share prices break back into those areas, we could then quite feasibly start to lose support from the exponential moving average cluster. So at the moment, these moving averages are moving to the top side. So if we do start to see share prices move lower, it would be quite easy then to break these to the downside and start to see share prices move into even $410. If that were to occur, that would mean that the entire exponential moving average cluster has then been broken, and then the focus would then again refocus on the downside. So there are a few different scenarios here that could unfold. Overall, I do think that there's more room to the top side than to the downside. Of course, this doesn't necessarily mean that Supermicro is completely out of the water here. This is just a 5-minute price chart, and if we were to pull out here to any longer time frames, obviously the picture would not look so positive. But the reason that we're looking at these shorter term time frames here is because we're looking at trend movements at these lows to try to identify whether or not share prices have actually found a bottom. One of the reasons that I would point to this type of outlook here does come from the fact that we're starting to see this series of higher lows that has developed. So essentially, we form a base here right around 380. We sort of bounce again right around the $400 mark. And then in the process, we do start to break above prior resistance levels. So at the moment, this is starting to look like, a developing uptrend. The indicator reading is mostly supportive for that side of the argument. So the way things currently stand here, I would keep the bias on the top side. If we did see a break below this 417 area, I think at the very least, we're starting to look at a period of sideways consolidation. But then given the fact that share price momentum on the longer term timeframes is so negative, you would have to start to expect sideways consolidative price movements to start to resolve themselves in the downward direction. So there are a few different scenarios that could start to unfold here. Overall, the stock is still in dangerous territory because we're still dealing with a volatile trend situation here. So it is important to remain watchful and to really keep position sizes small if you're interested in getting into the stock or buying in at these lows. So here's the current stock market update for Super Micro Computer Incorporated, stock ticker SMCI. Our high value trading strategies membership is currently available for a limited time for only $9.99 per month. These high conviction investment strategies are characterized by superior risk to reward metrics that target massive market beating returns over time. Join now to outperform the market. Lock in this special introductory rate of just $9.99 per month for the entire lifetime of your membership and start trading stocks with the pros.